Okay, we're going to talk to James about his Lambo.
My name's,
Hey, James.
Hey there, how's it going, Brian? I'm James, and this is my 2022 Lamborghini Huracan Evo rear-wheel drive.
Okay, so first of all, I know I've asked you the story already, and you've told me about it, but why a Lamborghini?
So growing up as a kid, I had a couple of different cars up on my wall. A Ferrari 308 Magnum PI car, and then of course the Lamborghini Countach, white one. And you know, over the years I was a big Ferrari fan, and met Jennifer. She's around here somewhere over there.
Hey, Jen.
And she's got a glorious 2012 Gallardo. So as I got to experiencing the cars a little bit more, learned that I really do enjoy the Lamborghini a lot, and so I was given the opportunity and was fortunate enough to be able to order one. Ferrari wouldn't let me order a car.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So when
you can't just walk in the door.
No. when it came down to it, I was really interested in a Ferrari F8, and they said I didn't have the relationship that I needed with Ferrari to be able to order that car.
Oh my.
So we have some really good contacts and people that I would call friends that are at Lamborghini of Seattle, and they said, well, we'll let you order a car. So we talked to them about what we wanted, and decided that this was the way I wanted to go. I really wanted rear-wheel drive. I love the rear-wheel drive car. The all-wheel drives are faster, and everybody always says, well, why didn't you go all-wheel drive? And I said, it's because part of it's the driving experience.
Yeah.
This car handles and it drives so wonderfully. And all of my driving training and experience has always been with rear-wheel drive cars. So for me, it was just very natural to go rear-wheel drive, and I have absolutely no regrets about it.
Well, now out of the Lamborghini lineup, why the Huracan Evo?
So with the Huracan Evo, this came out, I believe, in 2020, and it was kind of designed to be the end of the line for the naturally aspirated V10 motor.
Yeah.
The Aventador was way out of my price range, and I drove an Aventador, and it actually didn't give me the same feeling that this car does.
Ah, interesting.
So the Aventador is wonderful, but again, when you get into a car and it fits you, and the way that you drive it, it feels right, and that's how this car was for me. And so it was kind of a pretty easy thing. We were offered the opportunity to they have a Technica that's out now that's the absolute end of the road. I really like the STO, but the STO is a race car for the street.
Yeah.
This car can be very comfortable if you want it to be, or you can gear it up by clicking 2 buttons and it turns into the full-on race car mode. So,
well, I know we talked about this a little bit earlier, but let's talk about it again, about driving your car. So you spend X number of dollars on a car like this, and I don't know everything about you, but I think you're probably not a multi-millionaire.
No, not at all.
But we buy the cars that we can buy.
Yeah.
And then what do you do with it? Do you park it in the garage and just protect it, or do you go to the supermarket and go grocery shopping?
So we're drivers. Jennifer, with her Gallardo, in the first couple of years that she owned it, she put about 14,000 miles on it.
Yeah.
This car, I took delivery of it in Seattle, and I drove it home here to Vegas.
Yeah.
So I firmly believe that's part of my enjoyment with these cars. Is they're beautiful to look at, but it's just the experience of driving and the smile that it puts on my face when I get into it. I start the motor, I hear it fire up, and it's like, yeah, this is going to be a good day.
That's the story.
And so getting out there and really enjoying the car. You don't have to go out and drive like a maniac. Just going out for a nice drive, especially here. You get out of town and there's some beautiful roads to just go enjoy, and cornering. I mean, you asked about why I bought this car. Part of it is how it handles in the corners.
Yeah.
And it's balanced so well, and so I mean, it would be a shame to just sit and not enjoy the car. So I've had it since September, and I've already got about 2,500 miles on the car, and we'll continue to drive it. The Gallardo doesn't go out as much now because it deserves to be preserved a little bit at this point, because it's such an excellent example of a Gallardo. So.
Well, I know we had talked earlier, let's put it on video too. I'm a big fan of some of these these car guys that are on YouTube that buy a car like the Lambo, and the first thing they do is they start modifying the car. They'll do the twin turbos and the exhaust kits and all of that stuff. Are you going to modify this? Why or why not?
I am not going to modify this car. And it's not because that stuff isn't cool. Those guys are doing some amazing things and showing what can be done when you really want to get in aftermarket and stuff like that. For me, when I bought this car, I sold my Shelby to get this car, and that was the Shelby was just kind of something I'd always worked up to. And so as you look at this car and as it sits, I was so fortunate to be able to check the boxes on certain things that I wanted. The blue calipers with the gray wheels, there's some stories there. And so when it comes to modifying the car, I just can't see, it doesn't need anything. I tinted the windows, I put paint protection film on the car, ceramic coated it on top of that, and that's all that's been done with this car, and that's all that will be done with this car, because for me, when I get in and I drive it, it is perfect as it is.
Yeah. Well, the key is it gives you the feeling that you want, that you're looking for in a car.
That's exactly
And I know
right.
that's what we were talking about a little bit earlier too. So whatever it is that you drive, whatever it is that you buy, make it special for you.
Yeah, and this car is balanced so well. It doesn't need, I mean, we could put a lot more power in it. I think you can get these things that'll make 1,100 horsepower.
Yeah.
But it doesn't need it.
Yeah.
It would be unusable power. Where this setup as it is, I can use the entire power band on the car. Doesn't redline till, what, 8,400 RPMs. Naturally aspirated V10 motor, so it's got plenty of torque, plenty of power. Coming out of the corner in second gear, you can really, really enjoy the performance of the car.
Oh, and they sound beautiful too.
They do, and this one being the Evo, they changed the exhaust on these, so depending on what mode you're in, the exhaust will sound different. It's a very streetable car. I joked with people that it drives a lot like my old Civic in regards to how easy it is to drive. But when you put it into sport mode or into track mode, the valves open up and you just get that real visceral sound that just makes the hair on the back of your neck stand up when you start really getting on the.
We love that. So, we love that. Can you show us the interior?
Please, yeah, come on over.
Beautiful stitching.
Thank you. Yeah, when the car was ordered, Jennifer had a couple of things that were part of her Gallardo, and she says, if you're going to order a car, I'd like to do a couple of things to it too. And I said, well, what do you want? And the stitching was one of those. That was a box that she checked right away. And it's a neat touch, because then you also get the Huracan and the Italian flag embroidered on the seats and things like that. We didn't do a lot of the carbon fiber inside, because Lamborghini uses a forged carbon fiber, which is similar to what you see here on the door sill. The problem with it is you don't know what you're going to get, and a lot of times it can look a little bit dirty. And so we decided that there wasn't a carbon fiber option that was a standard kind of woven carbon fiber.
Yeah.
So we went with the plain interior there. But otherwise, it's we checked a lot of boxes when it comes to some of the neat stuff on the interior. The seat belts, we went with the green seat belt, and just fun stuff like that. That really, it's like, hey, that's a neat extra little thing that just brings that much more to the car. So. The embroidered headrests, same thing. We wanted to go with the green bull on the headrests and things like that.
I don't know if I got that. Oh, love it. Well, it's a stunner.
Thank you. We really enjoy taking the car out, taking it for drives, getting out in the community. One of our big kind of things that are important to us we like to support local businesses. So if somebody's doing a grand opening and we find out about it, they want to draw to their business, we're happy to bring the car out. Love putting kids in the car and making them smile, and hoping to maybe, if we can inspire that one, that's a success for us.
Well, you saw the attention it got when we did the toy drop off at the hospital over there.
That brought me to tears. It's like, hey, just
the obligatory
Noisemakers.
Obligatory takeoff once you leave Cars and Coffee.
Because yeah, the car definitely draws a lot of attention, and we really like to do as much as we can to channel that into a positive experience.
Yeah.
And there's a little bit of a kind of perception of exotic car owners that they can be a little bit snotty and unapproachable, and we want to try and show that that's not everybody in the community.
Yeah. Well, I've had this conversation with a lot of people here at Cars and Coffee, is cars are a great medium that brings people together from such disparate backgrounds, people that you'd never meet under any other circumstance.
Absolutely.
And everybody that I've met here at any of the functions that I've taken my car to, just nice people everywhere.
Well, this event here at Shelby is one of my absolute favorites to come to, because even though we're at Shelby American, you can see all these different makes and brands of cars, and everybody's here celebrating other people's cars.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, just because somebody might build something that I don't necessarily love, doesn't mean that it's not an amazing build.
Yeah.
And so that's the fun thing about these types of all builds welcome, and this community here at this particular event is just wonderful.
Hey, that's hot rodding, isn't it?
Yeah.
You do what you want to your car.
Yep.
You know? Love it. Well, thanks for taking the time to show us your car, James. I know we. There goes.
There's always one.
I do that too sometimes when I leave.
Well, sometimes you're the one.
Yeah, exactly. I like to fulfill everyone's greatest fears. Absolutely. So, thanks for taking the time to do that, man. Appreciate it.